CGTN, China Global Television Network.
Once the lockdown happened, all the gyms were instructed to shut down.
Nobody could have foreseen what COVID-19 brought with it. Businesses were not prepared.
Technology had to really play a big part. We had to think of being able to social distance with your client, but still be able to train them. Let's go. Let's go.
We're going to go to what people call the new normal, and it will never be the same as what it was before.
Members of the press and fellow Kenyans, I want to inform you that the Ministry of Health has confirmed the first coronavirus case in Kenya. This disease is not a joke. Kenyans must treat this matter with the seriousness it deserves by adjusting and changing their lifestyles. If we continue to behave normally, this disease will treat us abnormally.
So when the pandemic hit, initially we didn't know the impact it would have. So most of the gyms at that time didn't know what exactly would happen. But now, once the lockdown eventually happened, all the gyms were instructed to shut down. So immediately that meant all instructors around Kenya, or rather around the world, all had to stop working completely. We found ourselves jobless, basically, if I might put it that way. Most of us had to just stay home. I'm a fitness trainer, I'm a mother of 2, and I'm in the business of changing people's lives. My life before the pandemic was basically same routine. Just wake up, if I have morning clients, I just go train the clients. Then I had gym sessions. I was working at 3 different gyms. So I just moved from gym to gym doing Les Mills Body Combat. That's the program that I teach. So I'd go from one gym to the other. And if I have any other personal clients, I'd train them after that.
When COVID first arrived in Kenya, my team and I at Nendo were actually hosting an event. We had a physical launch of our trend report, and after the cabinet secretary announced about the case, we still had an event to put on. We didn't know any better at the time, and that was the very first case. But we held an event, it was well attended, but at that point I knew, and I told my team in advance that we were going to start working remotely. We were built for that, and I had the confidence that I wanted to put their health and safety first, even though I didn't fully understand the extent of it. Nobody could have foreseen what COVID-19 brought with it. Businesses, mine included to an extent, were not prepared. This was not featuring in a lot of scenarios or plans. Some may have foreseen it, but certainly I don't know that many people who had that crystal ball and said, this is how it's going to be.
We had to really think of what would be the other option of being able to social distance and be in contact with your client, but still be able to have them with you and still be able to train them. So we had to look for options, That's when the technology had to really play a big part. Hey Nella, hello? Can you hear me? Nice. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, we'll start with just a basic warm-up, just like 2 workouts, then probably I'll do squats and lunges, huh? Okay, so okay, let's stretch now. Here, push it here. Good job. Okay, nice, across your chest. Nice one, change, the other side. We realized that there are very many different platforms I could have probably be using to make money even before the lockdown. Because I used to think that, because I like group fitness, so I used to think that I would just go teach my class, finish my class, and just come back home. But if I was using, let's say the Zoom application, I would target even a larger number of people. We're going to start with squats. So we're just going to do slowly, just go down. The normal squats that we usually do, just let's go. 1, up, let's go. 2, good, let's go. 3, let's go. 4, nice one. 5, nice one. A bit of cardio, we're going to do jumping jacks again, just 20, out, out, in. Sawa? You ready? Okay, let's go. 1, 2, in. 1, 2, that's 5. Let's go. 1, 2, that's 6. Again. Good job. That's awesome. Next one. You're done with your workout for today. How was it? That's nice, huh? Yeah. Thanks a lot, huh? So I'll see you, Kesho.
In Kenya, you have over 30 million mobile subscribers. And there's probably more when you count people with multiple SIM cards. These people are a potential captive audience for goods, services, experiences on the internet, or just aimed at mobile phones alone. We have M-Pesa, right, a mobile money platform. That's been Kenya's brand, and it even went as far as calling itself Silicon Savannah, which is a word that stuck from about 2010. That is part of the basis of why Kenya is strategically positioned as a place that can exploit and explore new ventures and new ideas and innovations. And that's attracted venture capital, to fund these sorts of startups and businesses. And it's attracted founders, not just Kenyan, but international as well, who've relocated here and said, I have an idea. If I'm to pick somewhere in Africa to do it, I might just pick Kenya.
I think as a part of COVID, we're all just going to be genetically, evolution to have headphones permanently attached to our heads. As a technical entrepreneur, we all stand on the shoulders of giants. And what Kenya really has as an advantage is a solid digital infrastructure that has been built over years that have made solid connectivity available throughout the country from coast to coast, allowing people to have access to the internet. And that changes people's lives. It gives them access to markets, access to entertainment, and access to communication. And so as an entrepreneur, a digital entrepreneur, we ride upon that, and our business would not be possible if that infrastructure was not there in the first place.
My name is Moses Kamau Mbugwa. I am a designer and programmer with Usiku Kings based in Nairobi, Kenya. One of the biggest things that we can't ignore is investment. We have people who are willing to invest into young and upcoming developers in Kenya and in Nairobi. We have the likes of Microsoft, we have the likes of Google actually coming and setting up incubation hubs to try and foster and incubate tech-focused kind of individuals, because now suddenly people have access to YouTube. and they have access to tutorials. They can learn how to code in JavaScript, in JS, in React Native, and such like programs. And that has really created an atmosphere of exponential growth and interest among upcoming developers.
Hello, good afternoon. Am I speaking to Paul? Paul, I'm calling you in regards to the subwoofer that you tried to purchase with us.
Our reason for existence is Jumia. I think on the marketplace side, it's still an opportunity to many more consumers to be able to try online services, and then per se than Jumia, because we've been tried and tested, and we've gotten an increasing number of people coming to our platforms. Jumia, and just like any e-commerce platform, we continue to innovate. Some people would not have thought of coming to buy their groceries on an e-commerce platform. And we've had some collaborations to be able to even bring fresh produce on our platform, which then gets delivered within an hour or so.
Now let me check what I don't have. I need to add more onions. I need to add tomatoes. I need chicken, tomato paste. Let me see here. Some salt. Okay, I'll just write down on my list. Okay. I have chicken, capsicum, carrots, chili, coriander. And I think I have my list. Now I can be able to order what I need online.
For e-commerce companies, however, the biggest challenge they had the last 5 years was getting new people to try a new behavior and establish the trust. Do you trust me that what you order is what you'll get? Do you trust me that I am faster and more effective than you walking down to the supermarket and choosing for yourself? And during the pandemic, some have had no choice but to trust the company to deliver. Some have been disappointed, but many have learned that this isn't so bad.
I used to find it very hard to prepare meals for the kids because I had a busy schedule, and most of the time I wouldn't make it back on time to prepare meals. So unless it was the weekend or a special occasion, that's when you find me making meals. But I found it a bit more easier when Corona hit because I had more time to be at home. And then now when the applications that had come in to buy food, I had it easy to access, like, okay, let's for instance now delivery services that would deliver food to the house. This has been an advantage to me because I'm able to save more time and be able to spend more time with my children. And I also avoid the hassle of having to go to the supermarket and to be able to queue on the lines. So I'm seeing the benefits of having to use these digital platforms to be able to purchase my day-to-day needs.
When a customer places an order, what happens is on the back end, it is received in our system. Anytime you see a product, that means it is available, most often either in a warehouse or it's a vendor who has it, who then drops it off at a vendor drop-off point. So at that point, Then this goes to a sorting center. A sorting center because in many cases we aggregate our orders. Once the order gets to a sorting center, the orders that are going to a common area are put together and are delivered there by our network. Today in the era of COVID, it is a contactless delivery and it's also cashless. And then after that, you give him a code which verifies that he's actually delivered. So a one-time password code gets generated. You feed that to him. The loop is closed. In the back end, the system shows us that this delivery has been successful and it has been delivered to the right person. So then the loop gets closed. Life after COVID is going to be very, very different. We are seeing the impact that is had, the adverse impact on jobs and the rest. And let me call it telepresence, meaning you do not have to go to that place to get a service. I think on the other side, with working from home, we've seen people wanting to upgrade kind of their homes. So you'd find people coming on to get solutions to it because they're spending more time at home. These are some of the exciting things that we're seeing happening and we hope are going to continue on, not just in Kenya, but across Africa, because e-commerce really makes life easier and better for many consumers on the vendor side and also on the consumer side.
The pandemic has really adjusted our way of life. Kenya, for example, the ease of access to all the services you need simply because you can go from point A to point B made us not really embrace technology the way we were supposed to embrace it. So when the pandemic hit, now we had to think outside the box. And that is when Kenyans were forced to now embrace technology in its fullest. We are now competing with the first world in terms of using mobile applications, in terms of using online services, in terms of embracing technology as a whole. This in itself, I'm sure, will actually grow our economy in massive ways. Now we're becoming more and more tech savvy. Even children right now, since they can't go outside and play, they're forced to now embrace online gaming. They have games that they can play with their friends without having to meet in person.
Like so many people in Africa and around the world, I've got kids that have been studying virtually for the last year. And boredom is a real factor. Trying to keep them focused on their studies is difficult. It's hard enough to sit in a classroom listening to a boring teacher, but when you're doing it on a Zoom call, that's even harder. And so what we've done is we've created games that are educational, but first, fun. So the kids want to play them, they're having fun, and don't even necessarily realize that they're learning in the process. And we've tied our educational platform called Tizzy to the Kenya educational curriculum. So based on what grade level you're in and what week of the year it is, we present games that are specifically tailored to what the students learned in class that week, and then help them to revise that.
Initially, when I did my undergrad and I finished, and I was like, I'm not even going to be concerned about my IT degree because I was like, it's too hectic. I didn't know how fast people would be making money off technology, basically. I didn't quite think that I'm going to apply any of that knowledge in let's say, my job currently, because I was like, I'm just going to be a fitness trainer. I'm just going to go to people at the gym, train them, finish, I'm done, get paid, move on. Eventually, as time went by and things started changing in the world, now you started seeing the benefits of actually having some of these items, having a good website, having a nice YouTube page, having a nice Instagram page, and having it appealing, not just any other normal thing. So it had to forced me to go back to that kind of knowledge and use that knowledge to be able to apply to my own, let's say, creating my own image. Before the pandemic, I've been an active basketball player, and I also participate in projects in the hood, like building basketball courts, doing boot camps with children. I'm an actual sports lover. I watch rugby, I watch basketball, I watch basically any sports. So it happened that I was participating with a group called Giants of Africa, and they are known for building basketball courts and doing projects. So they had a project with the Obama Foundation, and we were just blessed that Barack Obama at that time was available to come and to launch the court that we had built. Just at that time, the camera guy just caught me giving him a high five, and then after that he did like a classic move that he always does. He takes a free throw and he walked out after scoring the basket, and that's how that day ended. But trust me, it was such a great day for me. Let me just say, it's one of the biggest life-changing moments in my life.
COVID-19 has put a spotlight on what I would call human interest stories. Everyday stories of the everyday heroes, or some of the actual people who've deserved for a long time to be known as heroes for their service. The frontline healthcare workers, or just anyone who is considered an essential worker. And I believe Africa has long been a resilient continent, and this has just focused the microscope and begun to show that there's a generosity and a sort of spirit of togetherness and care. Even when people are lacking, there's still the ability to contribute something, no matter how small, if not their actual time, or just trying to find a way, like I said, to make ends meet.
Man, it feels good to be outside again. Hey, wow. I really miss the outdoors. Being indoors has affected me both positively and negatively. Positively, at least I've been able to build a following online. I've had a few clients that I've been able to train. And on the negative side, obviously gaining a few pounds. And you know, sometimes most people think that as trainers, we're constantly fit. Sometimes we can also get into a slump. So when I wasn't able to do the things that I love to do, at some point I felt like I was, let me just say, getting into a kind of like a depression, because I was like, I'm not doing my normal things that I love to do. So I really slacked off, I must say. I sat back. I was mostly either eating most of the time or just sleeping most of the time if I'm not doing my normal classes. And it kind of really slowed me down. But now I'm happy that things are getting back to normal slowly. So I'm going to get back into my normal routine, and I'm sure in a few months I'll be back in shape, and I'll take it from there.
We've been fighting this virus, but we have been fighting it with rubber bullets. But this time round, what we have received here is equivalent, metaphorically speaking, to acquisition of machine guns, bazookas, and tanks to fight this war against COVID-19.
With the discovery of the vaccine, I'm sure everything will go back to normal. So for me, I'm still going to consider my online clients. I'm still working on my own platforms that will maintain those clients, and I'm going to set up my own program that will keep them with me. And I'm hoping that now I'll keep on improving on that. Then as things get back to normal with the gyms and the group fitness and being outdoors, I just look for a balance and look for a way that I'll be able to just have everything incorporated under one roof.
I think that if we project into the future, at a time where people have had the vaccine and basically things are returning to the next normal, I'm of the opinion that Kenya, and certainly not to paint with a broad brush, but many other countries around the continent don't strike me as the type of societies where people from the middle class or higher socioeconomic brackets will completely isolate themselves and not show up at a supermarket or not go up country. Instead, I actually feel that that's part of the fabric of society here, and is a fundamental way that, you know, Africans, by extension, Kenyans specifically, exchange ideas, exchange information.
I'm happy and blessed that I'm still here and I'm still alive and I'm still pushing and grinding, and I've been able to survive, especially using technology. And I'm seeing like a lot of cases of people suffering. Some of my friends have even died from it, and I'm hoping that now that the vaccine has come, things will be different, things will change, and we see how everything will go. I hope it gets better and better, and I hope we'll be able to survive everything. I'm really hopeful that that's what's going to happen.
I lived in Singapore during the SARS virus that struck China and Southeast Asia, and it was devastating to the economy and to many people. But then 5 years later, we just kind of went back to normal. Everything just went to the way it was. I don't think that's going to happen this time. I think that COVID is what's called an inflection point. I think that we're going to go to what people call the new normal, and it will never be the same as what it was before. Yes, people will start going to restaurants again and theater again and riding in buses again and that sort of thing, but things are going to be different. I think it's going to impact every element of the economy, from healthcare, education, commercial real estate. I mean, every piece of it is going to be touched by the realizations that people have had because of COVID.
Today we actually did our first group class since the president opened up the country. So it's pretty exciting for me, because now we get to actually do the classes that I'm used to. So for me, it's an opportunity now to continue doing what I like doing. It has been exciting for me, especially I've gotten to bring my family out, my kids. We've trained with my kids. I've made new clients, new friends from around my home area here. So I'm looking to now grow the class and also get people now to get active.